Hello everyone, thank you so much for being with me again in this channel. So matters are really arising. To be honestly, matters are rising. You can imagine what is really going on, that the UK government has actually abandoned the Ipob, and this is the same thing that many Nigerians that time were asking, saying that they wish that the UK government intervene in their behalf. People even had hope that UK government is going to come for the indigenous people of Biafra. People went as far as saying that the UK government is going to bring Biafra to Nigeria. They put so much hope in UK government only for them to reject Biafra. They're not even talking about anything Biafra again. In fact, the way things are even going on now, there are rumors have been flying that the UK government are involved in sending money to Northerners by weaponizing these Fulani terrorists. That is the rumors that we've been hearing now, that they are weaponizing Fulani terrorists. Like, they're not even talking about Biafra again. And this is the Biafra that long time ago that the UK government promised us that they're going to give Biafra to Nigeria. Now all of a sudden they have turned our back on us, which is so bad. And many Nigerians are still talking about it. They have been asking, is this not hypocrisy? What is really going on? Is this not hypocrisy that they have to reject Biafra after promising us that they will give us Biafra? Now they have suddenly turned their back on they have suddenly turned their back on indigenous people of Biafra. They're not talking about anything about the release of Nnamdi Kanu or declaring Biafra in Nigeria. So guys, even at that, we just heard that ECOWAS and UNN has actually they have actually just started talking about Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's case. Yes, they have started talking about it because if you look at it now, they're now ordering for the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. So let me tell you something. Now, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, that's the indigenous people of Biafra, the ECOWAS Court of Justice made a couple of significant rulings regarding Kanu's case. First of all, it was jurisdiction. The court ruled that it has the jurisdiction to hear Kanu's case despite the Nigerian government's objections. So imagine if ECOWAS and have started talking about Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's case. Many people have been ordering for his release, and still the Nigerian government, Buhari and Bola Ahmed Tinubu, have refused to release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. If that means if the presiding judge, Judge Omotosho, definitely declares that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is innocent and says, okay, let them free Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, are they still trying to tell us that, is the Nigerian government still trying to tell us that they will not still release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu even after the UK government has actually given, even after the ECOWAS have finally said that they should release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, because that is what is really happening here now. So if you look at what is happening, ECOWAS has started making demands on the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. They have said that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu needs to be released. They went as far as saying that the dismissal of the 800 million naira suit. However, the court later dismissed Kanu's $800 million suit against Nigeria, alleging torture and assault. Yes, many people have been calling on the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. People went as far as saying that they even need to pay Mazen Nnamdi Kanu for damage. They need to pay him for the infringement of human rights. Like, you guys know that ECOWAS is all about human rights, and they like agitating for the freedom of people. So they said just in ECOWAS court rules in favor of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu rejects federal government's application, and ECOWAS court sitting in Abuja has already dismissed an application filed by Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Muhammad Buhari-led government, asking that the suit filed by Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Ipob, be quashed. Jubilation has erupted among members of the sensational group led by Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and those sympathetic to his plight. Following this report, Kanu's suit seeks the court to grant him an unconditional release from detention as well as damages to the tune of $800 million. And now, to be honest, many people have been asking that they release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu conditionally or unconditionally. So ECOWAS has said that they should release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu unconditionally and as well as pay him for damages that has caused. So according to Channels TV, the Nigerian government asked the court to dismiss the case before it's a subject matter before a federal high court and the appeal court. The government council had argued that Kanu's application constitutes an abuse of court process. The presiding judge, Umotosho, dismissed the application of the government for lack in merit. The court has it has the jurisdiction to hear cases of infringement of human rights. To be honest, I won't lie to you guys, the kind of thing that is going on now. I remember when they were asking the Bola Ahmed Tinubu to release this man conditionally or unconditionally. Now, if ECOWAS can demand for the release of this man, many people, even the Federal High Court in Abuja, they have been saying that they have given Mazi Nnamdi Kanu a series of bills, saying that they need to release this man, but they have refused. The Nigerian government, have Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Muhammad Buhari's regime, has refused to release this man, but they have forgotten that many people have ordered for the release of this man. Now I'm beginning to think, what if after everything, because you guys know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been going for court case throughout month of May and June. In fact, his case is also coming up on the 13th of June. Now he has been going for series of cases. Now I'm beginning to ask, what if the presiding judge, which is Omotosho, now decides to say, okay, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is free, and he gives his judgment saying that they should release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Is the Nigerian government trying to tell Nigerians or the indigenous people of Biafra that they will not still release him even after the judges have said that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is free? Because if the Nigerian government could not even obey or listen to what high authorities are saying, could not listen to the Federal High Court, could not listen to different courts that have granted Mazi Nnamdi Kanu bail, could not listen to ECOWAS, could not listen to people from presidents in other countries who have been agitating for the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, could not even listen to what the Israel and Prime Minister said about the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Is it now Judge Omotosho that he's not going to listen to? Sometimes I just feel that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's court case is all about going front and back. Yes, it's all about going front and back because they already know that it just feels as if Bola Ahmed Tinubu is more powerful, like he's above the law. That is what they're trying to tell us, that it's above the law. You see the reason why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is always shouting about the Nigerian judiciary we have in Nigeria. Because tell me why the courts will give judgment that say, okay, grant this man bail, you guys need to grant him. Different people, even ECOWAS, a higher body, has come out to say that they should also release this man. Israel Prime Minister has also made his own judgment that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should be released. He went as far as saying himself that he's going to come for Africa, he's going to come for Africa, he's going to come for Ndibo. Still, Bola Ahmed Tinubu have refused to listen to what they are saying. So I'm beginning to think, is it now Judge Omotosho that is not going to give Mazi Nnamdi Kanu the final answer? Thereby, by then, if the Judge Omotosho now said that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is free, will he still be able to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Like, will Bola Ahmed Tinubu still be able to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu if he couldn't even listen to higher authorities? So guys, I want you guys to actually listen to this, because many people have said this is hypocrisy. The way the UK government have the UK government have declined and rejected Biafra, even after many Igbos put hope on them that the UK government is the only people that is going to give us Biafra. So guys, I want you guys to actually listen to what this person has to say, and I'll be right back. Just listen to what this man said.
The indigenous people of Biafra, Ipob, has accused the United Kingdom government of hypocrisy and colonial bias for supporting Morocco's autonomy plan for Western Sahara while ignoring Biafra's self-determination efforts. Ipob questioned why the UK deems Western Sahara's autonomy as viable while repressing Biafra's movement. Ipob traced the UK's hostility towards Biafra to the Nigerian Biafra war era, accusing the British government of complicity in mass civilian deaths. The group stated that Buhari's actions were driven by oil interest and a desire to preserve its colonial legacy. Ipob called on the UK to end its hypocritical double standards and recognize Biafra's right to self-determination. The group also urged the United Nations and African Union to investigate the UK's role in repressing the Biafran movement while promoting autonomy elsewhere. All right, today I'm delighted to be joined by two esteemed guests. Here in the studio we have Mr. Peter Nasike. Mr. Nasike is a philosopher, development economist, and best-selling author. He is also an erudite commentator on economy, finance, politics, and power. Great to have you join us.
Thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure. Of course, joining us virtually is Eda Lekia Christian. He is a public affairs analyst, social justice crusader, and president of the Niger Delta Coalition against violence. We understand that Adeleke is not here with us, but let's start out with Mr. Nosike, taking a look at this situation. Isn't the UK's endorsement of autonomy for Western Sahara while ignoring Biafra's claim a blatant case of geopolitical hypocrisy rooted in oil interests and colonial guilt?
Well, times differ.
Okay.
We cannot 60s and 20s are not the same thing. Right now, there's more enlightenment, there's more exposure, but the policy and programs of every country in the world, apart from Africa, is governed by interest. Understand me? It is governed by interest, not humanitarian. Because after the first military coup, which killed Aguiyi, Gowon has wanted his people to move out of the country. That is, Gowon and the North wanted that to separate from Nigeria on their own. So then, what they were shouting was Araba, meaning secession. They were already on their own to leave Nigeria and stay on their own. It was the British government that told them, now you have power. Don't run. Stay and take authority. So it was the British government that gave the North the courage that to stay in the country because they were scared. Understand? Then, but Ojukwu on his own part, I can say because he was a patriot. He has every reason to have won this war. Understand me? Because Russia was ready to come to the aid of Biafra. Understand? So all that Ojukwu would have done is just that to sign a 40-year, 50-year agreement with Russia. And Russia will fight on behalf of Biafra. But Ojukwu, I will use that was stubborn. Ojukwu was stubborn. Ojukwu said no to all the proposed because their own interest was also oil, what they would gain. The same thing with Britain, what they would gain. Understand me? So Ojukwu refused, and they decided that to go that to war alone. Understand me? Now, Britain was able that to run France and other Western powers for Nigeria. If we just left between Nigerian soldiers and Biafran soldiers, there would have been no way Biafran soldiers would have defeated the Biafran army. So it was the British government that came to their aid with France and other Western powers. That was the only reason why Biafra was defeated. And it took them more than 3 years for them to do it. But if Ojukwu had signed an agreement with Russia, there would have been no way they would have defeated Biafra. Because Biafra was already refining crude oil on their own. They were already refining jet oil on their own. They were already building assault rifles and so on and so forth. Understand me? Biafra had their own radio developed internally. So it was Ojukwu's patriotism, understand me, and again the sabotage of the help of the British government that made Biafra to be defeated. And still then, this war has not ended. Because in 1959, British government rigged our election, rigged our census in favor of the North.
You guys have seen
until
what
today,
this
they
man
are
said in
still
this interview.
supporting
honest,
the northern part of the country. Reason, because they see the northern people as people that they can easily manipulate.
The indigenous people of Biafra, Ipob, has...
So guys, you guys have actually listened to what this man said in this interview about Ojukwu, saying that if only Ojukwu signed contracts with the Russians, that they would have defeated they wouldn't have defeated the Biafran armies the way they defeated them in the civil war. Now I'm sure you guys have listened to what is going on about this, what the confession that Gowon made publicly to Nigerians, saying that the reason why he acquired a lot of Igbos in the civil war was because of he wanted unity. And now he went as far as people went as far as recalling when him and Ojukwu went to Ghana in order to bring unity in Nigeria. They never went there for a division, they only went there to bring unity. But what happened? Ojukwu came back to Nigeria and started buying the Igbos. Many Nigerians are reacting, saying that what happened? Why didn't he buy other tribes? Why must it be Igbo people that he buy? As I'm talking to you guys, he did not just buy little people, he bought 6 million Igbos because he wanted unity. And people said it was a lie, that Gowon never liked Igbos, and that is the reason why he did such a thing. And many Nigerians are now asking, what is happening in Nigeria? Why are people now coming out to confess what happened during the past? Why are they not confessing what happened in the past that they refuse to tell Nigerians for so many years ago? Don't be surprised. Very soon now they'll come out and tell you that Peter Obi was the one that won the 2023 election, that it was actually reached. This was something you'll be hearing maybe next many years to come. You'll be hearing it because it's just as if after people have done their atrocities, after so many years, they come out to start confessing. And now Gowon has come out to say that many Nigerians should please forgive him, that he was not aware of what happened, that you should just forgive him, that he did all those things because he wanted unity. And people are saying you wanted unity by taking lives of innocent people. You took lives, 6 million people in Igbo land, and you're out here saying you want peace to reign, that the Igbo should forgive you. And I tell you that, you see, what happened in Biafran war is still in people's heart, it's still in the Igbo's heart. So would go on coming out to tell us we should forgive him. It's just like him reopening old wound. And I bet you that the only time that Igbo people can actually forgive him is only if Nnamdi Kanu is released, because we can't see and Nnamdi Kanu in continuous detention suffering and he's asking us to forgive him. It is not possible. Many Igbos won't even forgive him, because many Igbos have already started laying curse on him, saying that he is the one that actually caused what happened in Biafra, that acquired many of our parents and left them and rendered them useless. So guys, I want you guys to just listen to what this young man have to say about what happened and what Gowon said. People claim that, saying that Gowon is lying, that Gowon never liked the Igbos, and that is the reason why he did such a thing. Guys, take a look at this and I'll be right back.
Let's read from Gowon. Biafra Civil War. There was nothing like Biafra Civil War. It was Biafra genocide, because bombardment of schools, markets, churches, IDP camp, hospitals is never a war. It is a genocide. A land and sea blockade is never a war, a genocide. But let us read from Gowon, then we analyze. Don't forget that this is Homeland Radio Biafra presentation from me, Fearless Ipob Evangelist Maze Marachimwachuku. In case you don't know, I'm from Ndiabo, Adi Amakwama. Thank you. We move. So, Biafra Civil War, there is nothing like war. It was a genocide. But let's continue. Most difficult period of my life, Gowon, he was even saying there that the only option for him was to kill Biafrans. Okay, the network is bad. We'll manage it too. Gowon said that he did this thing to the people of the East, especially the Igbos, because that was the only option to unite Nigeria. He did this for... Okay, we'll continue. So now, the question to Gowon is, was the Aburi Accord agreement for the division of Nigeria? Was the Aburi Accord agreement for Biafra independence? So, what was the agreement all about? It is like restructuring. So, who upturned the Aburi Accord agreement? Because you cannot jump into what happened by not telling the world if Ojukwu and you went to Ghana to divide Nigeria. It wasn't division of Nigeria. So what led to the killings of our people to unite Nigeria?
So my people, you guys have actually listened to what this man said. To be honest, he has not actually told us that, Gowon didn't tell us that him and Ojukwu went to Ghana for unity. They never went there for division. So he never told us that they went there for unity. All of a sudden, he came out and the agreement that they made, he spoiled their agreement, thereby coming back to be buying many Igbo people, came back, by a lot of Igbo people. So guys, actually, I'm still going to tell you guys like what is going on, because you guys know that they have been asking Bola Ahmed Tinubu to close this man's Nnamdi Kanu's case, that they should settle out of court. But there's a thing, because many Nigerians have started saying that before they settle out of court, that there's a condition that the federal government must do. Yes, that the federal government must do something before they can settle out of court. And I'm not even sure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is even interested in that their thing settling out of court. I don't think so. So this is what they ask the federal government to do if they actually want Mazi Nnamdi Kanu case to be settled out of court. They said, first of all, he needs to upgrade Enugu International Airport to grade 1 status. That's Kanu requested that Enugu International Airport be upgraded to allow direct international flights without stopovers in Lagos, Abuja. That's improving regional connectivity. Now, this is the reason he said that if they want them to settle it out of court, this is what the federal government should do. These are the conditions that were given to the federal government. He said that they should upgrade Enugu International Airport to grade 1 status. That Kanu requested that Enugu International Airport be upgraded to allow direct international flights without stopovers in Lagos or Abuja, improving regional connectivity. So I think from the look of things, I'm not going to lie, I don't even think that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is even interested in this settlement out of court again. I don't really think so, because if you look at it, he told you guys that he's ready to stay there no matter what, as far as they give him Biafra. He doesn't even care, because if they wanted to even settle this thing out of court, since Bola Ahmed Tinubu would have done it a very long time ago. So I don't think Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is even interested in settling it out of court. He wants Biafra. He wants them to just give him Biafra, just like they say that freedom is not actually given, it is actually taken, and that is the reason why you see he's actually fighting for it. So the second condition that was given to the federal government is the dredging of the River Niger. Now he demanded the dredging of the River Niger to enhance economic activities and access to the sea for the southeast region. That is the second thing that the Nigerian government should do. He said dredging of the River Niger, that he demanded the dredging of River Niger to enhance economic activities and access to the sea for the southeast region. Like, you see the reason why many people are saying that the southeast have been neglected in everything. I'm telling you guys the honest truth. Southeast don't even have seaports. They don't have at all. So you see the reason why they were saying that they also need to like, what they want now is that if they want to actually settle out of court, there's some basic things that should be given to Igbos, and that is what they are demanding for. The Igbo people are demanding for. That is the condition that was given to them, that they know the basic things, let them do it, by thereby giving seaport in the southeast, as well as also making sure that they invest in Enugu International Airport. Yes, they make it big, so that it will not just be, or it will not just be about Abuja. If people want to travel out of the country, they will have to go to another state in order to enter, or in order to get a flight. So that is the reason. And now, the way things are going, I don't think it's going to be possible for Nnamdi Kanu. I don't think he's going to even allow for them to settle out of court, because he has already made his mind that you see this Biafra, he's going to take it by fire by force. That is what he said. Because like I told you guys, freedom is actually taken, it is not actually given. Now there was this thing that Barrister Darlington was actually talking about. Barrister Darlington was actually talking about the Igbos, the way Bola Ahmed Tinubu have refused to release the Igbo people. Now, for me, I feel that like how they said the Bible, that Pharaoh, let my people go, and Bola Ahmed Tinubu have still refused to let Nnamdi Kanu go. There was something that they said that Nnamdi Kanu and Simon Ekpa are the ones causing the insecurity in the southeast. But now, when they arrested Simon Ekpa as well as Nnamdi Kanu is in detention, they have not yet asked themselves. Nigerians have not yet asked themselves who are now the ones causing the insecurity in Nigeria. Since they said that Nnamdi Kanu is a terrorist, who are now the people that are causing the insecurity? And this kind of thoughts have not even reigned in the minds of people outside the country as well as the UK government. Yes, since they claim that he's a terrorist, now that they have detained him, who are now the people that are causing it? Are they only trying to tell us it's to Simon Ekpa or Nnamdi Kanu? It is not possible, because these people have been detained. So they should check around people who are causing crimes in Nigeria. This to show you that people who are causing this are Fulani terrorists, are the people, sometimes people who are being supported by our Nigerian politicians. So guys, the continuation of what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said that he needs, like if they want to really settle out of court, this is what they should do. He also mentioned provision of steady electricity supply. He emphasized the need for a reliable power supply to support economic growth in the region. And also he also talked about the revival of Meribundu industries. Kanu called for the revitalization of demand industries in the southeast to boost economic development and job creation. Exactly, like they need industries in the southeast to provide economic development and job creation, as well as provision of steady electricity supply. If only they should settle out of court, because like many Nigerians have been saying that if they really want to settle out of court, it is something that the president Bola Ahmed Tinubu should call people, she called the freedom agitators together and asked them what do they want. That is how to settle out of court. Why are they doing this? What do they want? Okay, how are they going to do so that peace will reign? That is what the Bola Ahmed Tinubu should have done since. Now another condition that they was given to the federal government, if only they want to settle out of court, is functional rail lines in the southeast and south. Kanu demanded the development of operational railway and structures to improve transportation and economic integration in both regions. So actually, to settle out of court, they said that he needs to build railways in the southeast and south. So Kanu demanded the development of this railway and the structures to improve transportation and economic integration in both regions. That is, if they actually want to settle out of court, he said that he needs operation railway infrastructures to improve transportation and economic integration on both regions. Now, I can't even remember the last time that railway was in the southeast. To be honest, I can't remember the last time it was. Like even the railways we had before in those days has been actually closed down at all. In fact, the railways now in the south has now been turned to marketplaces where people stay and advertise their goods and products. It is not even functioning again, and still the Nigerian government are not even interested in it. When it comes to southeast, they're not even interested in whatever is going on there. So you see, that's the reason why he's saying that if they want to settle out of court, this is the thing that federal government must do for the Igbos before they agree to be settled out of court. So the next thing they say that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu also wants is upgrade Owerri Airport, similar to the international airport demand, that he should also upgrade Owerri Airport. He even requested improvements to Owerri Airport to enhance regional access. He also Mazi Nnamdi Kanu also requested for improvements in Owerri Airport. Yes, what he's trying to say is that they should also enhance Owerri Airport for regional access. Now, he also talked about next thing he talked about that the federal government should also do for the Igbos is addressing marginalization and inclusive governance. Kanu brothers demand including ending the perceived marginalization of the Igbo people, ensuring equitable distribution of resources, and promoting inclusive governance as noted in discussions about Ipob initial goals. Now, what Nnamdi Kanu also wanted is addressing the marginalization and the inclusive governance. Kanu brother demands the included ending the perceived marginalization of Igbo people. Yes, exactly. Many people have perceived that Igbo people are always silenced in everything happening in Nigeria. So they have to end this marginalization of Indi Igbos, ensuring equitable distribution of resources, and as well as inclusive governance, as noted in discussion about Ipob initial goals. Now, many Nigerians are saying that this is the only thing that can bring them to settle out of court. But if these things are not done, that means they are not going to settle out of court. If he already said that he needs to upgrade Owerri Airport, just as the way he said also upgrade Enugu Airport, and also address marginalization, provide steady power supply, and also build industries in the southeast, provide seaport for Ndi Igbos. That is what is the demand to the federal government. So another thing he also mentioned is general infrastructure development. He highlighted the lack of significant federal government presence in the southeast, such as major infrastructure projects and beyond the second Niger bridge, and sought comprehensive development to address regional neglect. Now he went as far as saying that the general info they need to highlight the lack of significant federal government presence in the southeast. Yes, the federal governments are always insignificant in the southeast. They are not bothered about what is going on, so they need to highlight it, the lack of significant federal government presence in the southeast, such as major infrastructure projects beyond the second Niger bridge, and sought comprehensive development to address regional neglect. That was what Nnamdi Kanu was saying. All these things are need to be addressed before they say okay, let them settle out of court, before they say okay, let them release him. Because as far as Nnamdi Kanu is concerned, if all these things are not done for the Igbos, I'm not sure that Nnamdi Kanu would even want to even come out of court. To be honest, I'm not even sure. So another thing he also mentioned that the government should also do is providing steady power supply, like I told you guys. So guys, actually let us take a look at the cessation of the secessionist activities and the renunciation of violence. The government may require Kanu to publicly renounce the secession agitation for an independent Biafra and commit to ceasing all activities associated with Ipob, which is designated as terrorist organization by Nigeria. Now, this is actually what the federal government will now be demanding from Nnamdi Kanu. If they give Nnamdi Kanu everything he wants, the government is going to require that Nnamdi Kanu should publicly denounce his agitation for Biafra and commit to ceasing all activities associated with the indigenous people of Biafra, which is designated as a terrorist organization by Nigeria, which is known as a terrorist organization in Nigeria. This could include disbanding or suspending indigenous people of Biafra oppression, particularly those involving inflammatory, theoretical, or actions perceived as inciting violence. So now we also need to, because I've told you guys that this is what Nnamdi Kanu wanted from the federal government. So the federal government will also give him their own decision too, as Nnamdi Kanu has given what he wants. So they're also going to tell him that if they do all these things for him, he's going to denounce Biafra. Like what I'm trying to say here is that he should denounce and renounce the agitation for independent Biafra, which means that he should stop his broadcast. The way he has been broadcasting about Biafra, he's going to stop it, and also anything associated with IPOB, stop all the whole people, all the whole IPOB members, stop all the whole IPOB armies and everything, and disband or suspending IPOB oppression in the southeast as well as other Nigerians, especially particularly those involving inflammatory, theoretical, or actions perceived as inciting violence. So this is actually what is going to happen if Nnamdi Kanu said that is what he wants. So another thing is public apology and commitment of national unity. The government might demand a public apology from Kanu for statements deemed terrorism or defamatory. Now, they're also going to demand an apology from Nnamdi Kanu only if they grant what Nnamdi Kanu wants. Now, this is the government's own decision. Nnamdi Kanu is going to give them a public apology for statement deemed tyrannies or defamatory. Now, another thing also that the federal government is also going to be demanding from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is compliance with legal and judicial process. Yes, the government could also require to, to acknowledge the legitimacy of the Nigerian judicial system and withdraw his challenges to the court jurisdiction or allegations of judicial bias. Yes, the government could also require that Kanu should acknowledge the legitimacy of the Nigerian judicial system and withdraw his challenges to the court jurisdiction or allegations of judicial bias. So another thing that the Nigerian government could also want from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is he must also be asked to drop pending lawsuits such as 50 billion fundamental rights suits against the government for his extraordinary redemption from Kenya, which was struck out in April 2025 for lack of diligent prosecution. Yes, you guys were aware that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said that he was going to charge the Nigerian government for fundamental human rights for the way they actually misused his fundamental human rights, which he was even calling 50 billion naira. So they are saying that if the Nigerian government does everything that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu wished to be done, that he should also drop the pending lawsuits such as the 50 billion naira fundamental rights suit against the government for his extraordinary redemption from Kenya, because what he was trying to say was that he's going to fight them to call, he's going to sue them for his unlawful arrest in Kenya. So they're saying that if the federal government should do all those things that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is requesting, that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should also be aware that he's going to drop the 50 billion naira charges against the federal government, which was struck out in April 2025 for lack of diligent prosecution and for the way they unlawfully arrested him in Kenya. That is what he said. So another thing that should also happen is that the Nigerian government should also access guarantees against fleeing the country. Even given Kanu's history of fleeing Nigeria in 2017 after a military raid on his home, the government may impose strict conditions to ensure he remains within Nigeria or under supervision. So this is another thing that the government is also may also require from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because you guys know that during the time in 2017 when the military invaded Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's home, he flew. If you guys notice, he flew and ran away for his life. So maybe what the government may impose now is that they may impose strict conditions to ensure he remains within Nigeria or under supervision, meaning that he's not going to be able to travel outside the country and he's also going to be under supervision. This could include surrendering his travel documents, agreeing to regular check-ins with authorities, or providing sureties to guarantee compliance similar to his previous bail conditions in 2017. 100 billion bail with three sureties, including a religious leader. So this is actually what they may demand of him. They may tell him to surrender all his travel documents, agreeing to regular check-ins with authorities, or providing sureties to guarantee his compliance, and also similar to his previous bail conditions 2017. 100 billion bail with three sureties, including a religious leader. This is what the federal government may demand from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu if they do all those things for him, because I'm sure that there's no how that if the federal government does what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu wants, because you know what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is fighting for is to end the marginalization of the Indians. So to be honest, if they do all these things for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the federal government may actually say that let him denounce Biafra, as well as also surrender all his travel documents and also stay within Nigeria. So another thing now that may really happen, like another thing now that I may say, okay, the federal government are also going to demand from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is restrictions on public statements and media activities. I knew that this is what they may even ask from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The government may impose a gag order or restrictions on Kanu's use of platforms like Radio Biafra to prevent further inflammatory broadcasts. This is practically relevant given charges against him for inciting violence through radio broadcast between 2018 and 2021. So another thing they may actually tell him to denounce, in fact, he should just stop this is Radio Biafra routine. He should stop it, thereby the government may impose a gag order or restrictions on candidacies of platforms like Radio Biafra to prevent further inflammatory broadcast. That's to prevent further more of his broadcast. This is practically relevant, given charges against him for inciting violence through radio broadcast between 2018 and 2021. You know, Nigerian government are feeling that what Nnamdi Kanu is using his radio broadcast to do is to incite violence through radio broadcast between 2018 and 2021. So they feel that another thing they're going to do is by telling him to restrict on public statements and media activities. That is what they're saying. So, you know, all those things are conditions that are going to be coming for the federal government if only they agree to what Nnamdi Kanu is saying. Because Nnamdi Kanu is saying that they should end marginalization in Igbo land, as well as build seaports in the southeast, develop Owerri International Airport, and develop Enugu International Airport, and also provide steady supply, provide industries in Nigeria. And also the Igbo people must also be involved in any political thing happening in Nigeria. So their own condition now is that if all these things is done, Kanu will have to surrender his traveling passport. Kanu will also have to make sure that he stays away from social media. He have to also denounce Biafra and stop all this is radio broadcasting thing. That is just the condition that was given. You guys have seen that to settle out of court, they need condition. So people who are saying that the best thing to do is just to settle out of court, they should also understand that the settling out of court also have to come in both between the two parties, which is Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Nnamdi Kanu. If Bola Ahmed Tinubu agree to what Nnamdi Kanu is saying, like everything Nnamdi Kanu is going to state to him, it's okay if he says okay, he's not going to be involved in social media or coming out to say anything about Biafra again. That if only he does everything that the Igbos have been expecting for so long, if peace reign again in Nigeria. But I'm not sure that the Nnamdi Kanu is going to actually denounce Biafra anytime soon. I'm not sure that one is going to happen, because let me tell you what Nnamdi Kanu is wants. Let me tell you guys the truth. Let me tell you guys, like, let me open your eyes. Let me tell you guys what Nnamdi Kanu wants. You know, that thing that happened in Biafran war has already shown us, even what Gowon say, has already shown us that no matter how we try to bring peace and unity among us, that's this so-called one Nigeria, we will still see people who are going to oppose against us. We will still see people who are still going to come against us. So the best thing to do is to just separate. That is what Nnamdi Kanu. If Nnamdi Kanu is saying that he doesn't even want to settle out of court, that the best thing is just to separate the Igbos from other tribes, because we found out that these people really hate us. They really hate us. Even taking a look at what happened, Gowon came out to confess. Imagine, Gowon never even told us that him and Ojukwu already went to Ghana for peace, for unity. They never went there for division, but he came immediately and started the war, thereby buying a lot of Biafrans. And he never told us that it was actually, they actually went there for unity. Now, many Nigerians were thinking that it was division that they went there to do, and that was how this Biafran war started. And now, all of a sudden, Gowon is seeing, confessing to us that he's sorry about what happened, is this, is that, which Nigerians are saying that they're never going to accept. So, guys, I want you guys to listen to what this young man has to say about the confession that Gowon said, as well as you see the reason why this is going to open you guys' eyes to understand the reason why Nnamdi Kanu doesn't even want to settle out of court. He doesn't even want to settle at all. In fact, he just wants Biafra, because he knows that if they settle out of court, they are going to give him conditions which he may not even want to do. But all the thing in his mind is that he wants Igbos to stay on their own. So guys, listen to this video and I'll be right back.
Remembrance Day, so that it will be tormenting those that killed us. They are still alive. They do not expect that the children of those that they massacred can rise up tomorrow like today and be remembering their fathers and call them heroes. It is a very serious slap on the face of Nigeria that they did these things so that it will be forgotten. After all, Gowon is still alive. We keep remembering those that they killed. Manage my network with me, please. I'm in the zoo. So, the more we remember those they killed, the more they cover their face in shame, because the spirit of our fallen heroes is tormenting Gowon, tormenting Obasanjo, tormenting Bangida, tormenting all of them. They can never rest. We will keep remembering them. After this remembrance, see what Gowon is saying. He's being tormented. He will face it. We can never stop. They must grant us referendum. So all these things they are saying, that's why IPOB said, we cannot go into armed struggle. We cannot fight war. We will drag Nigeria down. They must tell the world what we did to them. They cannot present us in that image they gave to our father. They gave us our father. If not for the careful agitation of IPOB, will the Gowon be saying this thing? Had Nigeria succeeded in all their plans, which Gowon contributed in all the blackmail against IPOB, all of them contributed on what Nigeria should do to IPOB. Had Nigeria succeeded in destroying IPOB, will the Gowon be saying this thing? They will be rejoicing. But what is pushing them? Because there is a wall. That wall is IPOB, strong wall. So if there is no strong agitation, will Gowon be saying this? No. So that is why we told our people, we know what we're doing. We must drag Nigeria down. In the presence of the world, they must tell us what we did. The same time, we are telling them, you must tell the world what Nnamdi Kanu did. You went to Kenya and kidnapped him. They blackmailed our fathers, tagged them rebels. They succeeded with that. And the world deserted them. And today, they tag IPOB terrorists. The world did not desert us. They did not accept it because IPOB plays safe. So if we have played wrongly, if we have been agitating wrongly and missed the step, Gowon will not be saying this. They will be rejoicing. Gowon will be thanking this government for stopping IPOB, for keeping unity. But because they did not succeed, this is what will be coming up from them. Because we are here to expose them. Because they tag our fathers rebels. So we cannot come with armed struggle. If we come with armed struggle, Gowon will be right. But with his self-determination, Gowon is wrong. We came with self-determination to prove Nigeria wrong in the genocide against Biafrans. Because they presented our fathers as the aggressors. So today, they have confronted IPOB with a gun, and we refuse to retaliate. So we expose them with our cameras, and the world have seen what Nigeria did to our fathers as deliberately. They did it. They had IPOB carry up gun. They will say this is how their father did. That's how their father did. But we refuse to carry up gun, and their shame is on their front today. Today, the world have seen our fathers as victims in the hand of Nigeria because the same way they blackmail IPOB but didn't succeed was the way they blackmail our fathers. But there was no media then to counter them. This time around, we took international position. And that's why you can see Gowon jumping up and down, presenting his failure. Because what they went to Ghana to do was the agreement was one Nigeria. So what actually led to the killings of Igbos or Biafrans to unite Nigeria? Did you discuss division of Nigeria in Ghana? The answer is no. So how come you returned after going there to discuss unity of Nigeria? You returned back and started killing us to unite Nigeria. Just imagine what Gowon is saying, that he killed us to unite Nigeria. It was an option. So did you go to Ghana to discuss Biafra? Was it not one Nigeria? So what actually led to killing us in order to make one Nigeria when one Nigeria was discussed and agreed in Ghana? Was it not one Nigeria? Was it not equivalent to restructuring? So what actually did Ojukwu come here and say he no longer believes in agreement in Ghana? Is it not Nigeria that said no? Because it gave us security of our life. We don't care about resources. The only thing you can do to us is our life. That's when we'll get up. You can demolish our shop, we'll go and build another one. You can demolish our house, we'll go and build another one. You can destroy our business, we'll start afresh. But you come after our life. That is when we wake up. That's when Ojukwu said no. We need to go and protect ourselves. We need to go and protect our region live. And Britain countered the security because it will give us regional security, which is against their policy, which is against the colonial masters, because they will be invading our land. That's why they don't want us to have our own security, so that they will be invading our land, taking our resources. So the purpose of the war was to deny us security. Simple. There was nothing wrong in the agreement. It was all about one Nigeria. That's why today they have surrounded our land with army and police, because they must always put your land, set your land at siege. Your land must be under siege because you are the owner of the resources. They will not allow you to relax. so that you will see them taking your resources. No, you will always be conscious of your life. That is the position they will give to you. But had they implemented Abure Accord Agreement, we will have security, and the British will not be entering our land anyhow. So that was why they went against Abure Accord Agreement. It is against their policy to give us regional security. It is impossible. Now, when IPOB came, we came as the Nigeria started seeing us as the return of Abure Accord Agreement. When we launched ESN, they now saw it as the regional security. So they became furious because they saw ESN as and IPOB as the return or the implementation of the Abure Accord Agreement. Because that's what they went against, even as that one was under Nigerian government. But this one is not under any government, this IPOB. So it is more dangerous to them if Nigeria can upturn agreement that was made for us even to maintain one Nigeria. They upturned it and started killing us. And today, Gowon is telling us that he killed us by upturning agreement to maintain one Nigeria. But the agreement was all about one Nigeria. That is to say, they are killing the IPOB's position of Nigerian government in killing our people today in order to defeat IPOB, to maintain one Nigeria. That is why you see artificial insecurity in our land. They are killing our people as the only weapon to blackmail IPOB. Then, if they defeat IPOB, tomorrow one person will be begging. And we know we form a bag then to kill Igbo youth because we want to unite Nigeria. That's what one idiot will be saying in future. Had we not stood strong, then one will come and say, if we did not bring Dokubo, there will be no one Nigeria today. You know? But those things will come up if they defeat IPOB. But Gowon is saying this because IPOB was not defeated. Because every plans of the government against IPOB, all of them that rule Nigeria contributed. Everybody contributed on what hand they will use against IPOB, which they have been using against IPOB and have not been succeeding. They have been failing. So now, what Gowon is doing or is presenting today is because IPOB disappointed them by refusing to be destroyed. So Obasanjo, all of them that killed us during the genocide are alive. Almost all of them that commanded the war, they are alive, and we are remembering those that they killed. It is a problem to them. You see how they are tormenting Gowon immediately after 30th May remembrance of our heroes. They are tormenting Gowon, and he must say the truth. He must say the truth. He should stop pretending, because the genocide is never war. Bombardment of school, bombardment of market, bombardment of IDP camp, bombardment of hospitals, bombardment of churches is never a war. It is a genocide. War is confront the power that rise up, like Biafran army. If you defeat them, then every other individuals, which are civilians, becomes under your control. So, but for Nigerian government to go after the civilians, bombarding them, killing them, and even applied a land and sea blockade is a genocide. Because war is defeat Ojukwu, then conquer the land and start ruling the people and tell the people how they will be. But you left the army and you go after the civilians. And today you are telling us it is to unite Nigeria. Was the Abure Accord Agreement to divide Nigeria? It's a question. Was the Abure Accord Agreement to divide Nigeria? The answer is no. So why was it upturned? Why did you go against it and started killing us to unite Nigeria? Was the Abure Accord Agreement to divide Nigeria? The answer is no. So why are you shedding crocodile tears? Why can't you tell Nigeria to grant us referendum? We cannot continue in Nigeria. 1966 coup, Nigerian coup was tagged Igbo coup. They now use it to Abure Accord Agreement was upturned and they started killing us. Since then, everything about Nigeria, they will tag it on Igbo people. Abiola election, Igbo people are the victim. Sharia law, year 2000, 2001, Igbo people are the victims in the north. So what we need now is for our people to either renew our enslavement in Nigeria or to be free from Nigeria, not by gun. No. That's why IPOB choose self-determination. Let our people decide if Fulani herdsmen should be raping our mothers. It is by bylaw box. We'll go and vote it during referendum. Let our people decide there the continuation of their enslavement or to be free from Nigeria, because all lies are against us. Small time after killing us, one after decades, one person will come and say, we did it for one Nigeria. Every time it is only Igbo that will be killed for one Nigeria. A Igbo lady have been killed in Ogun State to make one Nigeria. You know, our properties destroyed to make one Nigeria. So why can't you allow us to go, then maintain the one Nigeria? And that is the last bus stop, because we have no other option. The same way Gowon have no other option than to kill us to maintain one Nigeria, we have no other option than to leave Nigeria by referendum or to remain in Nigeria by referendum. If after referendum we fail, if we complain about Fulani herdsmen invasion, then you can blame us. If we complain about Fulani herdsmen kidnapping of our people, you can blame us. If we complain about rearing of cows in our compound, you can blame us. But for now, we have to renew our enslavement by referendum, because we have never seen ourselves in any position in Nigeria. So it is not by force. Our people that believe in Nigeria, if Nigeria is good to us, then people will vote for Nigeria. So that's why Nigeria is presenting war, IPOB, war. We say no. It is not what we came for. You attack our fathers rebels. Yes, we have to prove you wrong. We have to prove to the world that our fathers are not rebels by coming with self-determination. And Nigeria will be provoked and they will kill us and we do not retaliate. That's when our fathers was vindicated. IPOB made sure that our fathers is being vindicated before we can approach international communities, because we have to endure the excessive force and the extrajudicial killings of our members, because Nigeria will come with it, as was instructed by the British. They failed because we refused to do as they expected, because they were waiting to tell the world that this thing they are doing was how their father did. But that was not the case of our father. Our fathers was here, they came to kill them, and there was a military governor, right? So that is the fact. So this time around, we have to explain to the world what happened then with our good conduct by proving Nigeria wrong, by embarking on self-determination, which we have been provoked severally by Nigerian state. We refuse to retaliate because we want to vindicate our fathers that they are not the problem. They wasn't the problem. Gowon is the problem. Gowon is still the problem. Nigeria is the problem. Today, IPOB have... Right? We continue. Thank you. So, what we call for is referendum. Let the good work of Nigeria in our land be shown by the citizens of our land, because they will vote for Nigeria. So IPOB will be put to shame during referendum. But to use gun, propaganda, blackmail, you cannot stop us, because our people must decide to stay in Nigeria. Nigeria is not favoring the first citizens of Nigeria, first-class citizens. They're not. It's not favoring the Yoruba. And we, that is the 50th-class citizens, we are the sacrificial lamb. And if when we close our mouth, we'll be killed. If when we talk, we'll be killed. If when we agitate, we'll be killed. Then we continue to agitate, so that we will die under agitation instead of dying under one Nigeria. It is a decision that pleases our hearts. We cannot die like Benue people under one Nigeria, no. When you kill us, we know you are killing us because we are agitating. It is a position we took, and that position have destroyed Nigeria. They kill Yoruba people, they kill them in the name of one Nigeria. It holds no water. If any international community says something, they will say it's the Nigeria internal issue. But they try to present IPOB and as a Nigeria internal issue. We destroy it, and we disgrace Lai Mohammed. And it is never an internal issue. You can kill Middle Belt people. It is Nigeria issue. Herders, farmers clashes. You don't use such language in our land because we are agitating. A very dangerous position IPOB took. And today, Nigeria is getting it hot. If we are easy, why is Gowon talking? Did he talk when Ojukwu was here? Why is he talking? He's talking because we took the positive positions. We have taken positive positions in this struggle. The spirit of our fallen heroes is tormenting him after 30th May Remembrance Day. They are now suffering. They are now being confronted after the children of those that they killed remember their fathers, remember their mothers, remember their uncles, remember their cousins. When will they not be killed to make one Nigeria? When will the Yoruba people be killed to make one unity? Only Igbo people, only the people of the East will be killed to unite Nigeria. So we want to redecide our continuous enslavement by referendum. Nobody can stop us. We will keep dragging Nigeria down. Let us see how Nigeria will move when we say no. Then you are suffering by trying to maintain a Nigeria that we say no, it will never work. Because it has not been working. And we have put it to the position it will be. Nigeria will never move. We must drag it down. We must drag it down in any level. Drag it down. They will keep jumping up. You killed us to maintain one Nigeria. But the Aburi Accord agreement was not to destroy, to divide Nigeria. Then how come agreement was made to maintain one Nigeria? And you came and they obtained the agreement and they killed us to maintain one Nigeria. Is that not stupidity? Who are you lying to? A habitual criminal, Gowon, a habitual liar. You are lying in the absence of Ojukwu. Nnamdi Kanu is in detention. Gowon did not say, free Nnamdi Kanu so that what happened before will not happen now. No, it was an option for the unity of Nigeria. Now that you saw that that thing did not work, the same step, the same thing is happening now, and you are alive. You cannot come open. Nobody have heard you and say, free Nnamdi Kanu or negotiate with them. If you know that you did mistake them, why have you not taken? If the war somehow is being regretted by Nigeria or Gowon, why have he not taken it as to correct something by telling them not to handle Biafra issue the same way because of the past mistake? Have Gowon said it in the open? No, he will go to the back and engineer the massacring of our people. He will give them idea to bribe people because that's what he planned. He said, I will use money. So Gowon gave them idea to use money, buy people that will kill Igbo people, to target on IPOB. If Gowon is not involved in all these things the army and police is doing, and the Nigerian government, even the kidnapping of Nnamdi Kanu, why have he not tried to correct issue by warning the government that be not to allow what happened before to happen now? Why have he not taken position of telling government to go into political solution? Why have Gowon been silent? Because he expected Nnamdi Kanu.
So my people, you guys have listened to what this young man said. To be honest, and we'll keep saying it, that Gowon was actually the reason why Nigeria is the way it is today. You know, he was the one that caused the Biafra war, and on top of that, he came out to start confessing. Why is he confessing? Why, instead of him to, when Nnamdi Kanu has been in detention, he never came out to say anything or tell them free Nnamdi Kanu. It is now that everybody is now that he came out to confess, because he has found out that Ipob has actually defeated the Nigerian government. Because I'm sure that if it was the Nigerian government that defeated Ipob, Gowon would not be coming out here to say such a thing. Now he's asking the Nigerians to forgive him, the Igbos especially, to forgive him for all he did during the Biafran War. The same person that told us that he liked Igbo is the same person that went at the back of Odinogojuku to come and start causing war in Nigeria, thereby buying many Biafrans. Like, he's still the same person, but he never told us that they went to Ghana. They had an agreement for unity in Ghana, so it's not about division. But he came and started scattering everywhere. In fact, what happened in the Biafran war was not even a civilian war, but it was a genocide war, because they were burning down schools, churches, different kind of things, and this is actually very, very bad. Now he's coming out to say that we should have mercy upon him and we should forgive him. And many Nigerians are saying that they are not going to do that. The only thing now that can even give them the mind to even start forgiving Gowon is if they release Nnamdi Kanu. And the question is, ever since this thing happened, why is it that Gowon has not come out self to say let them release Nnamdi Kanu? That is what Nigerians are even asking. Say, they're saying that ever since this thing started, Gowon has never even said, okay, let them release Nnamdi Kanu so that the thing that happened before will not happen again. But he never came out to say anything about that, but he's still the same person claiming that he likes Nigeria, he likes Indigbos, which is a total lie. Gowon has fueled us with lie. Now many people are reacting to it. You guys even need to listen to someone's reaction. Like, this reaction was nothing but the truth. This is pain. This person that was speaking is coming from pain. This is pain in his heart. Now he was like, how can you claim the Biafran war was for unity and not hatred when it left millions dead, families torn apart, and a nation scared beyond recognition? Unity isn't built on the grace of the starved and the silenced and the broken. It is heartbreaking to think those who suffer, children, mothers, entire communities should accept this as some noble sacrifice. The pain of that war still echoes today, and your words feel like salt in those wounds. True unity doesn't come from force or violence. It is earned through justice. Like, when I came across this particular person's comment, I was filled with joy because this person nailed it. Like, he hit the point. Like, you're coming out to say this thing at the like, why is he even saying it now? When many people, he has taken the lives of so many people. He has forgotten that the pain of that war still echoes in people's hearts to today. And like that word, like his words now, the way he's been saying forgiveness, just like him pouring salt in those wounds. Now people are saying that if he wants forgiveness, it's fine, but let him agitate for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Let him make sure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is released. Then the Igbos can consider to forgive him. That is his own sacrifice to the Igbos. Let him agitate for the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is the only thing you have to do for the Igbos. Agitate for his freedom, and you see that then the Igbos will have to forget everything that happened and forgive him. Anyway, guys, that's all we have for today. Let me know your thoughts below. And also, if you know you're new to this channel, please don't forget to click the subscribe button, like and share, and also turn on the notification button to be getting all the latest news in this channel. And also, don't forget that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be coming to court on the 13th of on this month. So guys, stay tuned as I bring you guys more updates on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's trial. So guys, thanks for watching.